going on, valuables? Welcome to my first YouTube video, and excuse my shyness. This is a little out of my element, but I'm super excited to share this journey with you guys. Not too long ago, I was speaking with a friend of mine, and we were going over our personal life experiences, and you know, I really feel like it made me feel like a lot of people go through things and they are just not comfortable with sharing, or they might feel like they're alone, or you know, maybe they need to hear the experiences of other people in order to be able to get themselves out of whatever situation that they're in. So I decided to make this channel where I share my life experiences with you guys, and hopefully it will be able to help somebody who might feel a little lonely or depressed or needs an encouragement in order to speak to whomever it may be in their lives that either they like, or I don't know, that might be causing them pain. Because something I've realized is that the best thing we can do is speak our minds when we feel hurt. Because if we continue to hold everything in, what happens is that it poisons us. And that's something that we really need to work on, especially now with this pandemic and everyone going through all of these life issues at home, like not being able to leave because people won't wear their mask or do what they're supposed to do. So yeah, so a couple of things about me. My hair, my blue came out, but I'll put it back in with another color, don't worry about that. I like to color my hair from time to time. I love curly hair. I have 2 dogs, a cat, 2 turtles, and a lot of plants. I'll probably show them one day when they don't look so tattered up. And I am finally starting to get somewhere where I feel more confident in being who I am and working through my personal issues and being okay with accepting people as they are and not trying to change them or change myself to make a better impression or to keep them. Because I feel like that's like an issue that we all tend to have. We always want to keep people in our lives even if they're bad for us. I want to say it again. We tend to keep people in our lives even if they are bad for us. Okay? So I'm going to give you guys some story times. Some of them are going to be a little dark. But it's life. It's experience, Some of them are going to be a little hard to hear, maybe a little hard for me to talk about. I'll probably get a little emotional. Excuse me if I get emotional. But, it's life. So, I'll talk about my first story, which was a domestic violence situation in where I love someone so much, or at least I thought I did, that I allowed myself to be put in a position where I had no friends. My family was on bad terms with me, and I literally had no support system. I was 18 years old. This was my first and everything. And I ended up staying with him for a couple of months, and like towards the end he was just horrible to me. I barely ate. Literally, like I had to steal pennies to go and buy some chips, and I was surviving on chips. And the first time that he placed his hands on me, I asked him to use his phone so I could speak to my sperm donor. Okay, I'll talk about that another time. And he said yeah. So as I'm on the phone with my sperm donor, waiting to see like why he promised to send me money and I didn't get money, my ex, we'll call him Bella, he decided to come and start screaming at me. And I just looked at him like, what the hell? Like, why are you screaming at me? What did I do? So I got frustrated and I started screaming back at him. And then I just hung up the phone and I gave it back to him. And I had a game or something. I had something in my hands. And he was just being nasty. And I just started screaming because I was so upset. Like, I'm not even doing anything. I'm just sitting down in a corner. I'm not saying anything to anybody. I'm not, being in his way. I'm trying to be out of his way as much as possible. And excuse me, thank you. And that's when he slapped me. He slapped me in the face, and he hit me so hard that I actually flew out the room and hit the wall in the hallway. Okay. And my poor little dog Bijan, I love Bijan. Yes, his name is Bijan, and yes, he is a Bichon Frise. Stop judging me. He's Bijan the Bichon. He looked at me as I'm on the floor crying, and he told me, shut the fuck up, and walked into the bathroom to take a shower while I'm laying on the floor crying and sobbing my heart out. And, my dog is laying with me because my dog is scared. And he got dressed and he left. And it took me a while to get up and, move, because I guess I was so shocked. And I was just like, I've never been hit like that before in my life. And I was just like, excuse me. So he left for like a day or two. I think it was like 2 days or something like that. He came back and he wrote me this apology letter. I'm so sorry. I don't understand why I did that. Da, 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 blah, 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 blah. Okay. And from that, I have learned that words mean nothing. And I'm going to say it again. Words mean absolutely nothing. Okay? Because we can say whatever we want. We can, people will tell you what you want to hear. And it's nothing. It's just empty promises most of the time. So don't listen with your ears, okay? You have to watch with your eyes and see what they do, okay? Actions speak much louder than words, and they will always speak much louder than words. So we ended up, I guess, kind of talking or whatever, where he's apologizing. And, my young, inexperienced self, because I'm not going to say stupid, because you know what? These are our life experiences, and this is what we go through. And unfortunately, this was mine. And when you call yourself names like, oh my God, I was so stupid, or oh my God, why did I do this, or I can't believe this happened to me, oh, I'm an idiot, or something like that, that really lowers your self-esteem. Your words and thoughts to yourself can affect you mentally for years, and you won't even realize it, because you think that you're just saying that, and it means it's just a moment or whatever, but that stays up here. Every time you look in the mirror, every time you see your reflection, every time you think about yourself, it stays with you. So I rather call these life experiences, because that's what it is. It's part of my life. It's part of your life. It's part of their life, So we ended up trying to have makeup sex, I guess. And it just didn't work. And it wasn't on his end, it was on my end. Because my mental state was trying to tell me, run away. Okay? You gotta listen to your instincts, and you gotta listen to what your mind and your body tells you. You know, I felt such pain, like I was cramping so bad. I had to tell him to stop, stop, stop. And he did. And I just started to like look at him, I guess a little different. And I guess he was kind of annoyed because, you know, he didn't finish or whatever. So like a day or two later, I was literally on the corner of the bed. I wasn't in his way or nothing. I was ripping up some of my artwork because we were talking about something. He said something to me, and I'm like thinking, I'm like so frustrated. I'm like, oh my gosh, my life. I can't believe this is my life. Like, how do I get myself out of this? What do I do? Like, how can I get myself in a position where I feel safe and happy and I don't feel scared that something's gonna happen to me and nobody will know? Because again, I had no friends, you know? I was by myself. And I was too prideful at the time to speak to my mom because me and my mom were having a lot of issues, a lot of fighting, a lot of hurt feelings, you know, a lot of words were said between us. And so what it came down to was I was sitting at the edge of the bed, and I like to draw. I'm sorry, it's my allergies making me itch everywhere. I like to draw a lot. Well, I used to love to draw. No, it's a hobby. So when I would draw, I made something for him. I was doing like Huey because he loved the Boondocks, and I was working on this big Spider-Man Venom picture, which was really cool. And you know, I was just so angry. Like, I was angry at him, I was angry at myself, I was angry at my mom, I was angry at my sperm donor. Like, I was angry at everybody because I felt so alone. So he asked me if I could move over. So I moved over a little bit, you know. And then he said, can you move over? And I'm like, Bella, I already moved over, Bella. Like, why? Like, where do you want me to go? And so he started to grab this blanket that he had gotten me when we first started dating. And he told me, if you don't move, I'm going to throw it out the window. So he holds it out the window. Mind you, he lives in the projects. So, you know, it was a little high. I think it was like the 12th floor or something like that. So I'm like, no, no, no. And I'm like trying to grab it, like while he has it out the window. So he just takes it, he throws it. And like, I got so upset that I just shoved him. And his immediate response was to punch me in the mouth. He punched me square in the mouth. And I stumbled back. And I just looked down. And all I saw was like little drops of blood falling, right? So I'm like stunned, right? And he walks out and he goes to his mother's room and he's like, I finally did it. I punched her. I hit her, or whatever, right? So like, I couldn't even respond, you know? So I just took my dog and like a pillow, I took something, like a blanket, I think it was the same blanket or whatever, and I went to as I'm walking towards the living room, I can't even say his mother because she's a sorry excuse of a person, okay? She goes, Tiffany, I think maybe you should go and live with your father in Arizona. Doesn't even acknowledge the blood that's coming down my face. And I just looked at her like, wow, like, this is okay to you, you know? So a part of that kind of at the time made me feel like, oh, maybe I deserve that, you know? Maybe like I had it coming because I kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And I just stayed in the living room with my dog, just trying not to cry. And I think like 2 days later, I ended up going back home or whatever. And I did see him like, I think once or twice afterwards, but that's for another time. And at the time, I felt embarrassed. Like, I guess that happens. Like, you feel this sense of shame, you know? Like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened to me. Like, my lip is swollen. What do I tell my family? I lost so much weight that I was almost anorexic looking, and it was just like I didn't know what else to do, you know. And I think I left most of my stuff there, except for like some clothes or whatever. But I just had no interest of, you know, being in that situation, especially like it was affecting my schooling. You know, I was having panic attacks, anxiety, extreme anxiety. I've always had anxiety and I've always had depression, but it was intense during those couple of years. So I kept dropping out of school a lot. That's also another story. So, but it wasn't because I didn't want to do it. I just, you know, sometimes you go through things and you just can't, you know, you need time to prepare yourself and be ready, and that's okay. You can always wait until you are ready, not when the world is ready, you know? So, yeah, that was my first time being involved in a physical domestic violence relationship, or, you know, I've been in others, from mental abuse to sexual assault to a whole bunch of dumbness. And I learned from these kinds of events that it's okay, because, you know, again, these are our life experiences. It took me a very long time to view it as that, you know, because at the time during these relationships, I just felt like I deserved everything I got, you know? I felt like I'm being treated this way because I'm asking for it. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys feel that way. And I just want to say, no, you do not deserve to be treated in a way that is devaluing you, okay? Because you are valuable, you are loved, and you are needed, and you're wanted by someone, by your family, by your friends, by the inner soul that's in your heart. You know, like, it just takes time to find that. Sometimes it doesn't show up when you want it, but when you need it, okay? I have been fortunate enough to find a group of friends that I love dearly. You know, we don't talk every day, but that's okay, because I'm kind of antisocial and I don't like talking or hanging out. So, yeah, you know, I hope that I'm able to help anyone who's in need or who might feel alone, to, I don't want to say survive, but to be willing to start a new chapter, okay? Because our life is like a storybook, you know, every event is a chapter in our book. And I don't want you to ever feel like, is this the end? Is this going to be a cliffhanger? You know, this is our life. This is your life. This is their life. This is a life. So I hope that you guys feel comfortable sharing your experiences, or I'm able to continue and find more time or more stories, because I didn't want to do this with everybody in the house, okay? Because, I didn't want to get teased. So, hopefully, I'll be a little less nervous in the future and a little more polished. But, yeah, thank you. So, just remember, you are loved, you are valued, and until next time, valuables. Okay.